Hey everyone, welcome back to another video. And in today's video we have this 2023 Mercedes-Benz CLA class, and we're going to do the side chrome delete installation for this vehicle. So as you can see, this is how the side panel looks before doing the installation, and this is how it looks after the installation. So we use the gloss black material in order to black out the side panels. Link for the product will be provided below. But with that being said, let's get started with the installation video. These are the tools you need for the installation. So before we start with the installation, we need to make sure we prep the side panels. So all we need is water and baby shampoo mixed together in a spray bottle. Once you have your solution, spray it onto a clean microfiber towel and start removing any contaminants that each panel may have. And then make sure once you're done prepping each one, make sure that everything's completely dry. That way the adhesive on the film is able to tack down to the panel. So we're going to start by installing the piece that covers the top section of the panel. So with this one, I would recommend just starting off by placing the film to the chrome little by little. That way we could work away from one end and then finish it off on the other end, since it is a big piece. So with this one, start by lining it on the edge here. And you could use the top half of the film as a guide to align the rest of the film until you reach it there. And if you do have excess material, the excess material could be tucked in underneath the gasket here, or you could just trim it off. So just lift it, align it, and then we'll tack it down once we finish aligning it. So once you finish placing the film, you would just then grab your squeegee, start tacking everything down. Make sure to remove all of the air that's trapped underneath the panel. And then once we're done tagging down everything, we're going to apply heat. That way we seal all of the edges, and then trim off any excess material or tuck in the material, whichever way you go. And then once that's done, we'll move on to the next piece. So this is what I mean that you could tuck in the film. So with this one, you could bring the rubber gasket just a little bit down and tuck in as much of the film as possible. That way you have more coverage underneath the panel here. But once you tuck it in and you have full coverage, if you do still have excess material, just make sure you create an outline of where the gap is located. Pop out your blade, and you only need a little bit of the blade insert, and just trim it off like this. Just follow the guide of the panel underneath. Take your time trimming it off. You don't need to put too much pressure. It's just light pressure. Insert and just trim. And then you would just remove it little by little, and it should come off like this. And then you could just tuck in the rest of the film. That way it doesn't show. So this is how you would go about it. It would look like this. So just finish it off throughout the entire panel. And then once you're done trimming off everything, you would apply heat to seal all of the edges in case it is still lifting where we trimmed off the material. So once you finish the top section, now we're moving on with this bottom piece. So with this one, just place the film and align it to the edge. Give yourself a little bit of material to cover the inside of the chrome. So that should be good. And then once you have it aligned here, use the lower half as a guide to align the rest of the film. So just align it as you go until you reach to the other end. So once you place the film, grab your squeegee, start tagging down everything. Make sure to secure it and help remove any air that's trapped underneath the film. So it's the same process as how we did it with the top piece. And then once we finish tagging down everything, we would apply heat to help the film start molding to the design of the panel. Since this one does have a slight curve, we need heat to just tag it down and help it stay to the top section here. And then once we apply heat, we'll trim off the excess material and then finish it up by applying heat one more time, and then we should be good. And then you will repeat the same process that is done on this panel to this one, since they're the same. Just make sure you're lining here, work your way to the other end, and you should be good. So once you finish applying heat and you tack down everything, to trim off the excess material that's on the top section here, we're going to create an outline where there's a gap between the panel and the gasket. So create that outline with your finger. Once you create it, just slightly insert your blade and just trace the film and follow the outline that was created. Follow through until you reach to the end. It should just peel off like this. So just follow the rest of the design until you reach it here. Trim off the excess material on the top as well, where the mirror is located. And then for this part, we're just going to cut it where the chrome panel ends. So just apply heat before you trim it off. That way the film starts to stick to the edge here. So now that we know that the film is going to stay, look for the outline of the edge of the panel and then trim off the excess material slowly. So it should look like this. Everything's covered, and just finish off trimming the rest of the panel. So like I mentioned, for the installation for this one, it's the same process as how this one was. Just make sure you align it and you give yourself enough material to wrap and cover the chrome on the inside. And then just use the bottom half as the guide to align the rest of the film. Once we finish placing the film down, we're going to squeegee all of the air, apply heat, trim off excess material. So for the last piece, which is for the door panel here, all we need to do is align it on the bottom here. Make sure you're covering the chrome here. So align it, continue on. And everything else should just fall into place when you tack it down and cover the chrome. So with this one, we're just going to have to work our way, since it is a deep curve, work away and tagging it down little by little. So just grab your squeegee and squeegee side to side. That way we're able to tack down the film without creasing it. So just take your time doing this step. Side by side, side by side, side side. And if you need to lift it to adjust it, you can. And that's pretty much it. And just don't forget about this edge here. You are going to need to apply a little bit of heat just to help it tack down slowly around this curve here. So just lift it, apply heat, and then tack it down. Apply heat to help it tack down around the curve here and to help remove and minimize the fingers that are on this area here. So the front driver door is the only different one from all the other handles, because this one has a small cutout right here on the door handle. So you will just have to insert your blade, trim off the material here. That way we're able to open the door. So make sure you trim off the material here. And then now that that is trimmed off here, just help it wrap around the curve here and you should be good. But this step will only be for the front door. And then from there, you just trim off the excess material. So if you have excess material on the bottom, trim it off. On the side here, trim it off. But before you trim off, apply heat to help the film wrap around the curve. And then you just trim it off. So you just grab your blade, Make sure that you're pulling the handle, that way you have room to work with. And slowly trim off the excess material. And then just do the same for the rest of the excess material around the edges. So once you finish with the entire installation for the side panel, the last thing to do is to post heat each panel that was worked on. So take your time applying heat evenly throughout the entire panel. You could use the highest setting for this part, just make sure you're not too close to the film. That way you don't accidentally burn the film. So that concludes the installation video for the side chrome delete installation for the 2023 Mercedes-Benz CLA class. We hope that the video helped you guys out with the installation. Don't forget to drop a like on the video. Make sure you subscribe and turn on that notification bell. That way you don't miss any of our upcoming installation videos. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next one.